되겠습니다. longest 모드는 무슨 말이냐? 우리가 아까도 얘기했지만 이 모드를 추출해내는데 여기 흔들리는 고유 주기가 제일 느리죠. 느리다는 말은 이 고유 주기가 여기에 관련되어 있는 고유 주기가 가장 길다. 그렇겠죠? 그래서 우리가 이것을 longest 모드. 그래서 longest 모드가 사실은 fundamental 모드가 되고 그리고 그것이 또 우리가 내추럴 모드가 된다 이렇게 보면 되겠습니다. 그래서 이 방향으로 갈수록 우리가 이제 좀 빨라지죠. 뭐가요? 이 모드를 추출해내는 이 기초 부분이 흔들리는 주기가 빨라집니다. 그죠? 예를 들어서 이제 이게 제일 길다 그러면은 그 다음에 요 한 번 치고 나가는 요 부분 우리가 빠르게 해야 되고 요 두 번 치고 나가는 부분은 조금 더 빠르게 해야 되고 우리가 뭐 N 번을 치고 나가는 이런 모드는 뭐 엄청 빨라야 되겠죠. 그래서 우리가 얘를 T1 이렇게 부르죠. T1 그리고 얘를 T2 이렇게 부릅니다. 얘를 T3 이렇게 부르고요. 얘를 T4 이렇게 부릅니다. 그래서 여기는 이제 쭉 가면요. TN 그죠? TN은 뭐 굉장히 많이 치고 나가죠. Y축을. 이게 거의 뭐 서 있는 뭐 이런 모드죠. 이런 모드는 뭐 우리가 쉽게 상상할 수 있죠. 그죠? 그래서 우리가 이런 모드를 굉장히 고차 모드다 이렇게 얘기합니다. 고차 모드. 그래서 우리가 전문적으로 고차 모드다 이렇게 얘기를 하고요. 여기는 저차 모드다 이렇게 얘기를 합니다. 고차 모드다, 저차 모드다 이렇게 얘기를 합니다. 자, 이해가시죠? 그래서 이게 우리가 반드시 기억을 해야 되는 여러분이 건축공학 분야, 지진공학 분야, 초고층 뭐 이런 분야에 종사하는 한 절대로 잊어서는 안 되는 개념이다. 이렇게 보시면 되겠습니다. 그래서 이 개념을 이제 잊어버리면 상당히 불편하죠. 우리가 앞으로 일을 할 때에 반드시 기억을 꼭 하셔야 되는 개념이다. 이렇게 볼 수가 있겠습니다. 자, 그러면 이제 우리가 3차원상에서 우리 건물은 뭐 2차원 건물은 전혀 없죠. 건물은 3차원이죠. 그죠? 3차원이라 하면은 뭐 동쪽, 서쪽 방향이 존재하고요. 남쪽, 북쪽 방향이 존재하는 그런 또 상하가 존재하겠죠. 상하가 존재하는 그러한 건물이다. 이렇게 보시면 되겠습니다. Okay, we have a three-dimensional buildings. Building is always three-dimensional, isn't it? We have a north-south directions side of the building and east-west side of the buildings. And when we take a look at, we have a two dynamic mode, just we explained. So if you take a look at this building from this face, okay, then you see the building is vibrating in east-west directions right here, and along the east-west directions, we're gonna have a building mode. Yeah, let me change color if I can. Oh. Okay, so if you see from here, the building will oscillate, vibrate east to west directions, and we apply the mode that we learned in previous second. And also we have another vibration mode if you take a look at from these directions. And this vibration will get you north-south direction, right? We have a two direction, similar direction between east to west and north south. So how many? So this is a horizontal mode, isn't it? So we have a horizontal mode. We're not going to talk about vertical mode. Why vertical mode can be ignored in building design? If you recall very first video clip, the vertical weight of the building is huge, very big. So they can suppress down the vertical motion of the building. Or you can say the vertical motion generated by the earthquake are not that great as big as one generated horizontally. Okay, with those reasons, we often neglect the vertical behavior of the building. But these days, sometimes somebody wants to take a look at vertical mode, and But anyway, in general, the horizontal mode are taken into account usually, right? So we have a two horizontal mode right there, and one torsion. If you see now, this is three-dimensional building. Now you start seeing it torsional mode, right? If you take a look at building from the top, the building vibrates east to west, and building vibrates north. And now this is north, isn't it? North-south direction. And we have one additional mode called torsion, right? Torsion, twisting mode, because of three-dimensional characteristics of the building. If this is two-dimensional building, we don't have any further mode such as torsion, but all buildings in reality three-dimensionals, right? It is displaying torsional mode. Okay, so now let's take a look at these three modes: two horizontal mode, one torsional mode, or one twist mode. Okay, we take a look at in this mode. Okay, we have a say x-axis represent east to west. Okay, and y-axis will represent north south. Either way is okay as long as you understand the concept. And z-axis represent a torsion, twist. Okay, torsion and twist. All right. So at each mode, and we saw this is first mode in previous minutes, where your building mode do not cross the vertical line, right? Do not cross the vertical line. This is beautiful first mode we saw it, and one from east to west directions, one from north south directions, one for torsion, right? And this is one set or first mode. First mode. And what is the first mode of torsion? Torsions twisting in one direction only, like this. Okay. This is a first mode, as we'll call, and we don't forget it. Right? And T1 is the mode that generates all these mode shapes and torsions, right? Let's go back to the second mode and how second mode is generated by the second natural period. This is a period. Second natural period. We don't call this fundamental anymore. We call this fundamental or longest mode, right? But we just say second longest. That's okay. Third longest. That's okay. But we usually say that second mode, third mode, and this is fourth mode, and this is a fifth mode. Okay? T2, T3, T3, T4, T5. And T2, how many crossover are we observing? We observe one crossover, right? In both axes. x-axis and y-axis. So y-axis, x-axis, east to west direction or south north direction. It doesn't matter. And what about torsion? Torsion now also changes twisting directions once. It's like you cross over vertical line once for horizontal mode. Okay? So you twisted these directions and you change it maybe in middle of the floors. I don't know. You have to see in the computer model later. You're going to change your torsion direction like this. So that torsion is more becoming very complex in second mode than in first mode, right? Understand? Okay. So if this is a in class, and I'll show you with my hands how the torsional direction is being changed, but that's okay. It's like a changing the direction of torsions just once in the middle of floors of the buildings. Okay, in T3, this third mode, how many times we're gonna cross the vertical axis over? Twice, right? Twice in both axes, east to west. And how many times do we have to change it in twisting mode? Or probably are changing twice in twisting mode. So we start with this and gonna somewhere in the floor, you're gonna change this, and maybe somewhere in the floor again, you're gonna change your twisting direction. So you change it twisting direction twice. As you change it, as you cross over vertical axis twice as a horizontal mode. Okay, the horizontal mode is called horizontal mode. It's called a translational mode, right? Translational mode. And twisting mode is called a torsional mode. Torsional mode, okay? I can say horizontal mode or translational mode, or I can say twisting mode and torsional mode, right? All referring same mode, okay? And so on and so forth. So you're gonna go nth mode. We're gonna cross the vertical axis over how many times? n minus 1 times, right? n minus 1 times. And how many times would torsion direction occur? n minus 1 times again, right? And both in x and y axis. This is more complicated, but it basically same reasonings is going to be applied to understand this entire mode on entire directions. Okay.